Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Tarps Off. Today I'm going to go through the January 2nd NHL games. So we're going to start off with Toronto and LA. So in the first period, there's no scoring. Second period, Toronto opens up the scoring. At 5:15, it's Nylander scoring from Bertuzzi and Tavares. At 8:14, Kelly Youngkirk would score from Bertuzzi and Domi. And then in the third period, 19 minutes, Nylander scores unassisted into the empty net. So 3-0 win for the Leafs in LA. LA continuing their struggles on home ice. Anyways, we're going to move on to Detroit and San Jose. So in the first period, Detroit opens up the scoring. It's Daniel Sprong scoring from Raymond and Gostisbehere on the power play at 6:11. At 16:50, Zetterlund would score from Granlund and Hoffman. Second period at 6:07, JT Compher scores from Justin Holl and Oli Mata. And then Justin Bailey would score for the Sharks at 18:54 from Mario Ferraro. Third period at 9:24, San Jose takes the lead. It's Barabanov scoring from Ferraro and Emerson. At 10:55, David Perron would tie it up from Daniel Sprong and Lucas Raymond on the power play. At 18:30, David Perron takes the lead back for the Red Wings from Lucas Raymond. And then Rasmussen was scored unassisted into the empty net at 19:54 for the Red Wings. They put that one away 5-3. Alright, moving on to the Avs and the Islanders. So in the first period, the Islanders open with the scoring. It's Pierre Engvall scoring from Brock Nelson at 5:39. Devon Toews on the score for the Avs at 6:11 from Logan O'Connor and Kyle McCarr. Brock Nelson would score again at 19:28 from Dobson. Nelson would score one of his own from Dobson and Sorokin on the power play at 19:28. Second period, Holmstrom would score from Clutterbuck at 1:09. And then Nichushkin would score from Girard and Drouin at 4:18. Drouin would score one of his own from Rantanen and McKinnon at 8:24. And then Romanov would score from Barzell at 10:18 to put the Islanders ahead. Third period at 12:21, Nichushkin would score from McKinnon and McCarr on the power play to tie it up. And then in overtime, McKinnon would score from McCarr and Rantanen on the power play 32 seconds in. The Avs take that one 5-4. Right, Flyers and Oilers. Again, another game that didn't make me happy. First period, 15:55, McDavid scores from Nugent Hopkins and Desharnais. Second period, Hyman scores from McDavid and Draisaitl at 8:12. Konechny would score at 11:10 from Farabee and Couturier. Stahl would score at 17 minutes from Konechny and Farabee to tie it up. Hopkins would give the Oilers back the lead at 19:05 from McDavid and Hyman on the power play. Third period, Draisaitl would score at 1:27 from McDavid and Ceci, and then Hopkins would score from McDavid and Hyman at 11:19. Oilers take that one 5-2. Panthers and Coyotes. In the first period, Cody Verhaeghe scores unassisted at 10:46. Second period, there's no scoring. Third period, Kerfoot ties it up from Lawson Cross shorthanded at 3:17. At 7:58, Sam Reinhart scores from Barkov and Verhaeghe on the power play. Kachuk will score unassisted at 8:38. And then at 17:39, Forsling scores unassisted into the empty net to win it for Florida 4-1. Montreal and Dallas. So in the first period, Dallas opens up the scoring. It's Jamie Benn scoring 11 seconds in from Wyatt Johnson. Suzuki would answer at 4:14 to tie it up from Slavkovsky and Harris. Gouli would then score for the Habs at 9:46 from Kovacevic, I think, and Michael Pezzetta. Second period at 6:54, Harris scores unassisted. Third period, Caulfield scores from Monahan and Suzuki on the power play at 6:45. Wyatt Johnson will score one of his own at 16:12 from Dodonov and Marchment. And then Robertson will score from Duchesne and Marchment at 18 minutes. That falls just short. The Habs take it 4-3. Blackhawks and Predators. So in the first period, the Predators open up the scoring. Gustav Nyquist scoring from Yossi and Riley on the power play at 5:16. Second period, there's no scoring. Third period, O'Reilly scores from Forsberg and Nyquist on the power play at 15:23. Then at 19:27, Evangelista scores from Luke Shannon, former Canuck, into the empty net. The Predators take that one 3-0. Alright, Jets and Lightning. First period, Lightning scored. Stamkos scoring from Hedman and Kucherov on the power play at 6:18. Second period, Pionk scores for the Jets to answer to tie it up at 4:44 from Dillon and Barron. IFL would then give the Jets the lead at 9:13 from Perfetti and Nemestikov. Third period at 15:13, Ehlers extends the lead from Nemestikov and Barron. No, sorry, just from Nemestikov. And then at 17:53, Barron scores from Toninato and Nemestikov into the empty net. Kucherov would score one more at 19:23 from Hedman and Point on the power play to give the Lightning 2, but the Jets take it 4-2. Right, Capitals and Penguins. We're in the Capitals jersey here. So Ovechkin versus Crosby in this one. The first period, Washington opens up the scoring as Tom Wilson scoring 55 seconds in from Sandin and Bear, former Canuck. At 11:16, Livingston scores from Nick Dowd. I think he's also a former Canuck as well. At 13:02, Faraday scores from Strome and Hendrix Lapierre. Then 19:18, Ovechkin scores from Sandin and Mantha on the power play. At 19:56, Ricardo Rakell scores for the Penguins from Erik Karlsson and Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Second period, Crosby scores at 9:11 from Gensel and Malkin on the power play. Gensel was scoring of his own at 18:54 from Crosby and Rakell. Third period, there's no scoring. Washington takes that one 4-3. Alright, Boston and Columbus. In the first period, there's no scoring. Second period, Boston scores at 2:12 from Shattenkirk and Grzelcyk. Shattenkirk scores from Grzelcyk and Coyle. 4:06, Johnson scores from Provorov and Voronkov. 13:07, JVR scores from DeBrusk and Lindholm on the power play. Third period, at 7:29, Heinen scores from JVR. And then at 15:54, Trent Frederick scores from JVR as well. Bruins take that one 4-1. Alright, Hurricanes versus Rangers. This one helped out the Canucks at least a little bit. At 1:49, Drury scores from Nosen and Shea on the power play. 19:29, Svechnikov scores from Aho and Burns on the power play to cap off 2-goal first period for the Canes. Second period at 4:30, Kreider scores the Rangers' lone goal at Trouba and Panarin, from Trouba and Panarin. Martinic would answer at 6:32 from Jordan Stahl. Third period at 1:33, Jalen Chatfield, he might have been a former Canuck as well, would score from Drury and Natchez. Svechnikov would score at 2:56 of the third from Shea. And then Bunting would score from Lemieux and Shea at 15:49. The Canes take that one 6-1. We go to the Flames and the Wild. In the first period, Mangiapane scores the opener for Rasmus Andersson and Mackenzie Weegar at 11:40. At 19:36, Huberdeau scores from Lindholm and Serengovich. Second period at 9:28, Pat Marine scores from Patan, maybe a former Canuck, he might have been just a former Capital. Anyways, from Patan and Rossi. Third period, Coleman scores from at 19:03 from Backlund and Weegar into the empty net. Flames take that one 3-1. And then Ottawa and Vancouver. First game for Vancouver in a while. First period, Ian Cole scores at 2:14 from Juleson and McCabe. 12:39, Piasuda would score from Lafferty and Myers. 16:34, Pettersson would score from Piasuda. At 16:58, Miller scores from Zadorov and Besser. And then at 17:53, Pettersson scores the second of the game from Miller and Hughes on the power play. Second period at 1:31, Giroux scores from Kachuk and Sanderson. Third period, 37 seconds in, Tarasenko scores from Giroux and Stützle. And Tarasenko scores second at 17:29 from Batherson and Chabot. And then at 17:42, Piasuda scores unassisted to cap off a 6-goal game for the Canucks. And when they win that one 6-3. A lot of talk about how the Canucks played a great 20 minutes and then a bad 40 minutes. They built up a 5-0 lead in the first period. So that 20 minutes pretty much erased the last 40. So anyways, I'm happy Canucks win that one. Hope you liked it. Hit like if you did. Subscribe if you really liked it. And I'll see you all for you of tonight's games tomorrow. Adios.